Welcome back. Now, my next guest has been on my show before. I have with me Brandon Ames. And Brandon, you are the founder and CEO of Anicell. Tell everybody, this is really different, everybody. So listen up and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, my name is Brandon Ames. I've been an entrepreneur here in the Valley for a really long time and started this company back in April of 2015. And we extend the active life of animals through the use of regenerative treatments collected from amnion. And basically treat tendon ligament damage, any type of eye issues, or any kind of superficial wound issues in dogs, horses, zoo animals, and the like.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open up our lines to the audience here because you said that you'd like to try that. Anyone that was, okay, so they're listening here. We've got Facebook Live here listening too, so everybody can call in. Tell us a little bit about the caller's question. Give them an idea of the things that they can ask about.
Oh, they can ask about their dog's individual issues and whether or not regenerative medicine can be used in which to treat those issues. Regenerative medicine's really a new facet of medicine that's come around just since the turn of the century. And so basically it started with stem cells, and amnion treatments is the newest version of that, in which we say we're human tested, animal approved. We've been using amnion on the human side and using it in which to treat various orthopedic issues in folks. They originally started using it in diabetic wounds back in 2008-2009 timeframe.
So our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-11. So if you have a question, dogs only.
Dogs, cats,
okay.
Horses.
Just getting it out there.
Yep. Companion animals, as well as equine.
Okay, so if you got any kind of a pet, dogs, cats, and horse or whatever, you can call in and ask. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You're also going to do a giveaway. And explain to them, explain it, Lucy, what it is that you're going to be giving them.
Yeah, basically what we're offering up today is if your animal has early onset hip dysplasia or any type of arthritis, we'd be willing to work with your vet in which to diagnose and then provide product up to $250 worth of value of product in which to treat those injuries.
Now, you can call in here for this. You can also ask a question about your pet, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You want to go up on their website. It's Anicell, Anicell biotech.com.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go into it a little bit more now. Is it moral, right, for anyone to use this type of a treatment on a pet? I mean, I know that they're doing it. People do it on themselves. So, is it safe? Let's talk a little bit about it.
I love that question. So, basically, stem cells and that got a bad rap early on based on where they were getting stem cells from. They were originally harvesting stem cells from embryos, because they thought that's the only place stem cells were. And we now know that stem cells are in every part of our body. It's how we regenerate tissue. And so we collect it from amnion during the birthing of healthy baby foals and puppies. And so we sit on a 5-gallon bucket in a barn waiting for the foals to birth. And
wow.
Yeah, it's great. We
collect. Is it an interesting process?
It is. It's great. I mean, we collect and are part of that birthing process. We oftentimes say we're recycling miracles because we are part of the miracle of childbirth, or an era of horse and puppy birth. And so we go through and collect that material and recycle it and take it off to a lab and create our regenerative treatments out of that material.
And then that is injected?
It's either applied superficially or injected. We say it's implanted because we're implanting these bioscaffolds into the body, in which for the body to use that material in which to regenerate either the tendons or the ligaments or the joint issues that they have.
So let's say your pet has arthritis or a tore ligament. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. And they were to call in and get this treatment, and they start working on it. How long does it take to see an effect of it? Is it different for each animal?
Yeah, it's different for each animal, and each animal, the healing profile could be a little different. So in a lot of our cases, about 40% of them, they see just a slow, steady healing uptick over a 6-week time horizon. And another 25%, they see it in 2 weeks or less, even, to where they'll go from having on a scale of 1 to 5, they'll have a 2 type limp, and then they'll go to walking soundly after that.
How safe is it?
There has never been a recorded adverse event of this product, either in animals or in humans, ever since the 1913s, when they started using it for burn victims.
Now, your website is Anicell, so ANICEL, biotech.com. We've got our lines open here. If you have a question about this, about your animal of any type that has an issue, maybe they have that arthritis, they've pulled a tendon, and it's awful when it happens to a pet, because you know that they're not feeling good, but they're right by your side no matter what, right? And we always feel for them for that. So you can call in if you have a question about that. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You could also get the giveaway, which again is what?
Basically $250 off of a treatment with our product.
So the number again is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. So what actually happens in the body when your pet gets injured?
So we kind of look at it, it's very similar to what would happen in a Midwestern town if a tornado rolled through. Basically, the first thing that happens is people come up and they try to make sense, and they're in shock. And that's the same thing that happens in the body when tissue damage occurs. After that, they realize they try to pick up their lives, but they realize they can't. And so they go through and make a phone call. And that phone call in a tissue injury is called inflammation. And so basically that inflammation is reaching out through cellular signaling, saying, hey, send me some stuff. But much like in a small town where there's a tornado, you can't get there. And so what we're doing is basically airdropping in a semi-load of brand new material in which to fix that tissue. And the body works with that material. It recognizes that it was part of building that tissue when it was in the womb, and recognizes that and uses that. And I realize I've really oversimplified it. If there's veterinarians or scientists or doctors out there, they're going to realize that that's a real oversimplification. But that gives you kind of how that works. And we're utilizing that material to upregulate the body's own cellular components and material in which to treat that issue.
Now, I do also want to make sure that people understand that this is through vet. Your vet is going to really do this for you. And if your vet doesn't, then you can coordinate with them. I remember last time you were talking about that.
Yeah, exactly. If this is a treatment that you want to do on your animals, any veterinarian can do this. It's very different than other types of regenerative treatments out there. Other regenerative treatments require, we call it cut to cure, in which they harvest stem cells for either bone marrow or fat in which to treat that animal, and they've got to be cultured, so it takes a period of time in which to do that. Our product's available off the shelf of same day as diagnosis and can be used in the field in which to treat these animals.
And right now, everyone that's calling in, you are getting it's a $250 basically credit towards whatever it is that the treatment that you use, right?
Correct.
And you can check them out at Anicell, Anicell, biotech.com, and call in here. The people that are calling in, you are going to get entered in to win this. Also, you can ask a question if you want. I know people are listening, and we'll go to a break, and when we come back, we can talk further, and we'll get to anyone that misses a call, we'll try and get to you guys. So 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Why do scars then, scar tissue, why does that form then around it?
So typically when you've got wounds, the scar tissue, it happens as a result of not having enough material in conformationally compromised areas in which to treat. And so basically we're providing all of that material, so the wounds heal significantly better with a whole lot less scar tissue involved.
So we've got our lines open here. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. It's really informational stuff here. Again, it's really done through, any vet can do it. If they're not, we want you to tell them about it. Also, you can get entered in to win a $250 value voucher towards what you do your first treatment. Again, the number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Call in and ask a question about your pet.
If I traded it all,
welcome back. And we are talking with Brandon Ames, and he's the founder and CEO of Anicell. And our lines are open here. We have people that are calling in. You can ask a question about your pet, cat, dog, horse, whatever, that might be dealing with, arthritis or some kind of an issue, pain-wise or whatever else. And you can ask a question. Our lines are open here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone that's calling in, you also are getting entered in to win. This is a $250 voucher towards your first treatment, so you can get that too. We do have a caller on the line. Our number, Mike, you're on the air. What's your question?
I have a question about my dog. I have this little terrier, and he's now kind of really losing weight rapidly and doesn't want to move around a whole bunch. And it kind of looks like, he's got some kind of back or hip problem going on. Maybe a leg. He tends to limp with the one leg.
Hey, well, Mike, it's good to talk to you. So, first of all, Mike, I'm not a veterinarian, but what we would suggest is do you have a local veterinarian?
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, with hip dysplasia or early onset arthritis, basically we would treat that with an injection and we'd treat periarticular around the joint, in which to treat those types of issues. If they're more pervasive, we use the product systemically as well. So we would use it through an IV in which to treat that animal.
So you are getting entered in to win the $250 value voucher that you're going to get that you can use for your treatment. We've got our lines open here. That's a good question. I mean, that's a lot of dogs. Some of them, do you see mostly older dogs or older pets? Is that what or could it happen to anyone?
We see all sorts of animals, animals that have gotten into dog fights, that have all kinds of tissue injury from that dog fight. We've treated all kinds of eye issues in both young and old animals, as well as a lot of tendon and ligament damage, as well as joint issues.
So our lines are open here. Was that all you wanted to ask? I'm not sure if you're still there. I should give you the option. Okay, they must have gone. So, our lines are open here. There's questions that people have. You said eyes, too. You can ask a question at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Very different, something here, but it's safe, and it's something that, not very many people know about, really.
Yeah, it's regenerative medicine's very new technology, and it started with a lot lot of the stem cell treatments, and what we've done is found a way in which to do this to where it's totally non-invasive. And on the human side, I mean, this technology has been around on the human side since 1913.
Though I have to ask you a question really quickly. When you say eye, like if they have a problem with their eye, where are you injecting it?
Eye ulcers, we use an amnion contact, and we simply place that over the eye ulcer.
So we've got our lines open here. Another question is coming in. 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We have Jenny, you're on the line. What's your question?
Hi there. Thank you for taking my call. My question was in regards to, I've got an 8-year-old dog, and he's having like some soreness and some problems. I don't know if it's with the heat or what. And I was wondering how your product works. Like, if does it work on ligaments and joints? How do I know? That kind of a thing.
So, Jenny, what's your dog's name?
Penelope.
Penelope? Awesome. So,
Penelope? My dog's name is Cody. Go ahead.
So basically, first of all, we'd ask you to go visit with your vet in regards to Penelope's issue, but in those types of issues that are osteoarthritis related, we try to treat at the point of issue with the products. But again, we can use these systemically when things are more pervasive throughout. And sounds like in Penelope's condition, she's a little more affected by the weather.
Now. Yeah. Thanks for the call. Our lines are open here. You can call in and ask a question. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You should check them out. It's Anicell, Anicell, biotech.com, and I should say TECH so that they know it's how it's spelled. You're also going to get entered in to win this $250 voucher that you can use towards your treatments. So from them too. So give us a call here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. What makes you so different?
So what makes us different is we don't have to cut to cure. The existing stem cell remedies, as well as the other like PRP and IRAP, all of those are invasive, in which they either take liposuction fat out of the animal's hindquarters. It's under surgery and under anesthetic, which for elder animals can be very very risky. Or they pull bone marrow from the sternum. And so in ours, we're a product. We're not a service. So we're available the same day as diagnosis in which to treat those animals. And for mobile vets, they can come to your house and do these regenerative treatments without any threat of adverse events.
Is it costly?
It's not.
I got to ask that.
I love that. I love that. So we're roughly 23% less than any of the other regenerative treatments in the marketplace today. Regenerative treatments are different because they are all natural. They're different, and because our product is we treat once for injury. We're not doing ongoing therapy, so we're a treat one and done for injuries. When we're treating osteoarthritis, it's about once a year that we're doing those types of treatments.
I'll tell you something, though. When it's your pet, I don't care how much it costs. It really doesn't, because you love your pet so much and you want to get them help.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to this arthritis and you see them and they can't walk. Well, what was the first one that said that he can't even walk? That's what's a sure sign? Like, obviously, when they've hurt themselves, that they would want to use this product.
So when we see injuries, a dog's been overly active and playing at the dog park and takes a wrong step, no different than we are when we're out playing. Basically, we would work with the vet in which to prescribe a protocol in which to treat that. I'm going to ask you
a question. My mom had a dog one time that used to love to roll this ball around, that big ball around the house, and it was so excited, and it was a tiny dog, and it hit its hip on the wall. Now, in those days, and this was years and, thousands, I don't remember how long ago, but it was a long time ago, and they obviously did hip surgery, okay? Would this be something in place that could be something that you could try beforehand, or certain things that just, I'm trying to, see what the reason is.
There's always going to be a need for surgery in a lot of cases, but what we have found in like partial tear, cranial cruciate ligament surgery or issues, we've been able to treat those without having to do surgery, and over a 8-week time horizon, seen those animals return to normal. In a lot of cases, we can replace surgery, but it's still something that needs to be evaluated by your vet, and we work very closely with veterinarians in which to assess those issues.
Certainly this looks like something that would be a lot less money than surgery and a lot safer.
Correct. And because it's a one and done treatment, we're able to do that and not have ongoing treatments in place of it.
Well, if you want to keep on calling, we've got a couple more minutes here. 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We'll try and get another caller if you call in and ask a question about your pet. You could check them out on their website. It's Anicell, ANICELL. Biotech is biotech.com. And you could check out all the information there. We've also got everyone entered in to win a $250 voucher towards your treatment, so for the first time. And if your vet doesn't know about it or isn't using it, you can actually connect with them.
If you go in, any vet can do this with about 15 minutes of conversation. We can teach them how to do the treatments. Like I said, it's totally non-invasive. It's completely all natural. No adverse events. The worst thing that could happen, we're about 84% effective across everything that we treat, and the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work.
Right. And so you want to find out, what's your final words for today for everyone?
The regenerative medicine is changing the way people get treated, and the advancements in a lot of this medicine, especially in amnion, is allowing folks in which to extend their active lives. And so we're just excited to be a part of that and be able to provide these treatments across the world, and grateful to be here with you guys today.
I'll tell you something, it's really interesting, and if you guys have more questions or keep on calling and get still entered in to win, it's a $250 value voucher that you can get towards your treatment at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Check them out. It's Anicell, ANICELL, biotech.com.